Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep into the world of AI, specifically something fascinating coming out of China.
Oh,
Yeah. So get this, a new AI model called DeepSeek is making some serious waves.
okay.
And it really might just completely change how we think about AI development.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all detailed in this article, actually, called "I DeepSeek Dezuja U AI.tdf." And I can't wait to break it down with you.
I'm ready. What's really captured my attention with this DeepSeek thing is that not only does it perform like right on par with all the leading US AI models,
Right.
but they're doing it for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
We're talking about bringing AI development costs down by like 90%.
That's huge. Just imagine, like, the implications for industries across the board.
Yeah.
Suddenly, all these AI tools and solutions that were, like, only for the big tech companies with those deep pockets,
Right.
now it could be affordable for smaller businesses, startups, even individual researchers.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're seeing happening.
Oh, wow.
DeepSeek R1, their flagship model, just launched last month on January 24th, 2025.
Okay.
By the end of January, it had already racked up 125 million users.
Hold on. 125 million users
Yeah.
in a single week.
It was less than a week, actually.
That's got to be some kind of record. Didn't ChatGPT take months to reach those kinds of numbers?
It did. It did. DeepSeek is officially the fastest growing app in history.
Wow.
And it's showing no signs of slowing down.
Really?
In fact, projections indicate that DeepSeek's daily active users could surpass ChatGPT
Oh, wow.
very, very soon.
That's incredible. But, it makes me wonder,
Yeah.
what's driving this crazy growth? Is it purely the cost factor, or is there something more to DeepSeek's appeal?
Well, cost is definitely a major factor for sure. DeepSeek's API call prices are significantly lower than all their US counterparts.
Right.
It's a direct reflection of those reduced development costs.
Makes sense.
But it's not just about being cheaper.
Right.
Their models, DeepSeek's V3 for text and Janus Pro 7B for multimodal tasks,
Mhm.
they're proving themselves in performance too.
So they're holding their own against, like, the big players, the GPT-4os and Claude 3.5 sonnets.
Absolutely. Benchmark tests show them performing equally well, if not better, in some cases.
Really?
Yeah, especially DeepSeek R1, their reasoning model.
Okay.
It seems to excel in tasks that require, like, actual reasoning.
Huh.
Things like complex math problems and just understanding nuanced language.
Reasoning models, that's something that we hear more and more about these days.
Right.
For our listeners who might not be as familiar,
Sure.
could you quickly explain what makes them different?
Oh, yeah. So think of it this way. Traditional AI models like ChatGPT,
Okay.
they're great at generating text, but they don't truly understand it. Reasoning models, on the other hand, they're designed to actually solve problems logically.
Okay.
They can grasp concepts, make deductions, and even like come up with their own creative solutions.
So it's like the difference between mimicking human language
Yeah,
and actually thinking like a human.
that's a great way to put it. And DeepSeek's approach to actually like training these reasoning models is pretty innovative.
Okay.
They're focusing on logic-driven domains like math and coding,
Right.
which apparently requires way less data and computing power compared to training on just like general knowledge.
So they're being strategic and focusing on areas where they can achieve, like, maximum efficiency,
Yes.
which seems to be a recurring theme with DeepSeek.
It is. The article calls it Chinese-style innovation.
Okay.
Instead of throwing like massive resources at the problem like we often see in the US, DeepSeek is just focused on refining existing technologies
Okay.
and making them super efficient.
It's like the old adage, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
But tell me, what are some of the specific innovations that allow them to be so cost-effective?
Sure.
The article mentions things like multi-head latent attention and mixture of experts. Can you unpack those for us?
Of course. Multi-head latent attention, or MLA, helps the model process information more selectively. Imagine it like, you have multiple experts focusing on different parts of a problem.
Oh,
This lets the model achieve higher performance but with less effort.
interesting.
And then you have mixture of experts, or MO.
Okay.
It's a technique where different parts of the model can specialize in specific tasks.
Okay.
So this increases efficiency even more and allows the model to tackle these complex problems with fewer resources.
So they're essentially building these super efficient AI models
Yeah.
by combining all these clever engineering techniques and, focusing their development efforts strategically.
Exactly. And get this, they're not even keeping these innovations to themselves.
Oh, really?
DeepSeek is embracing an open source approach, which has actually been praised by industry leaders worldwide.
That's a bold move. Most tech companies guard their intellectual property like it's gold.
I know.
Why do you think they're choosing to be so open?
I think they recognize that by fostering community involvement and collaboration,
Right.
they can accelerate AI development even further. It's a win-win for everyone. They get valuable feedback and contributions from the global community, and in turn, they help democratize access to cutting-edge AI technology.
So this is about way more than just one company's success. DeepSeek is potentially changing the entire landscape of AI development.
Absolutely.
And their emergence is sending ripples through the industry.
Yeah.
And not everyone is exactly thrilled about it.
That's true.
What do you mean?
The article actually points out that DeepSeek's success has caused some anxiety,
Right.
particularly in the U.S. Companies like NVIDIA and TSMC, who are key players in the AI hardware supply chain, their stock prices have dipped since DeepSeek's launch.
So it's a bit of a wake-up call for the big established players.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's this new contender, and they're playing by a different set of rules.
Yeah.
Rules that prioritize efficiency, accessibility, and collaboration.
Exactly. And this challenge comes at a really interesting time.
How so?
Remember the U.S. government's U.S. Framework for Artificial Intelligence Diffusion?
Oh, yeah.
Which was basically an attempt to, control the spread of AI technology.
Yes, I remember. There was a lot of talk about making sure AI dominance stayed in the hands of the U.S. and its allies.
Right. Well, DeepSeek's emergence throws a wrench in those plans.
Oh, yeah.
They've demonstrated that innovation can come from anywhere, and that attempts to control the flow of knowledge are, ultimately futile.
It's a reminder that in the world of technology, especially AI, things move incredibly fast. And all those old assumptions about, who holds the power and how innovation happens might need to be reevaluated.
Couldn't agree more. This is a story that goes way beyond just technological advancements.
Yeah.
It's about global power dynamics, economic models, and even philosophical questions about the nature of innovation itself.
We'll definitely need to delve deeper into those aspects.
Absolutely. There's so much more to unpack here.
Yeah.
The implications of DeepSeek's approach, both for the AI industry and the world in general, are really fascinating.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back to continue this deep dive into the DeepSeek phenomenon.
It's a good one. You know what we're seeing with this DeepSeek thing?
Yeah.
It's more than just like a company success story. It's like a potential turning point for the entire global AI landscape.
It's true. It's like they've come in and said, hey, there's a whole different way to do this.
Yeah.
It's not just about being different, though.
Right.
It's about being more efficient, more inclusive,
Yeah.
and ultimately more impactful.
The article makes a big point of that.
Okay.
It challenges this whole idea that the only way to win with AI is through brute force.
Right.
Just throwing tons of money and computing power at the problem. DeepSeek is showing us that innovation can totally thrive on just ingenuity and resourcefulness.
It's almost like they've figured out how to democratize AI development.
Yeah.
Now you don't need to be like some huge tech giant with billions in R&D
Exactly.
to make a real contribution.
Imagine a world where startups in emerging markets, universities with tiny budgets, even individual researchers just work in their garages, they can all develop and use powerful AI tools.
That's a pretty powerful vision. It could totally change everything.
Yeah.
Make AI accessible to so many more people.
Yeah.
What do you think the implications of this could be?
Well, for one, we could see just a surge of innovation, especially outside of Silicon Valley and those traditional tech hubs.
Interesting.
New AI solution popping up from all these unexpected places, tailored to specific local needs.
It's like the power of AI is being spread out.
Yeah.
Instead of just concentrated in the hands of a few. What does that mean for the current AI giants?
Yeah.
The ones that have been operating under that brute force model.
It puts them in a tough spot. They can adapt, embrace this new efficient approach, or risk getting left behind. The article specifically mentioned that DeepSeek has already started some price wars in China's AI API market.
Oh, really?
Dropping the costs way lower than we're seeing in the U.S.
So they're not just competing on performance anymore.
Right.
They're competing on who's the cheapest.
Exactly.
That's got to put some pressure on those companies like OpenAI and Google.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To rethink how they price things.
Absolutely. And if this keeps going, we could see the whole AI industry shift.
Wow.
And make these powerful tools cheaper for everyone.
That changes everything, not just for the tech industry, but for any industry that could use AI. Healthcare, education, manufacturing, agriculture.
Totally. Think about healthcare for a second.
Okay.
Imagine using DeepSeek's cost-effective AI to look at medical images, diagnose diseases way earlier, and personalize treatment plans, all while making things much cheaper.
That would be revolutionary, especially in places where good healthcare is hard to come by.
Exactly. And what about education?
Yeah.
Imagine AI tutors that adapt to each student's learning style,
Wow.
making personalized education more affordable for everyone.
And in manufacturing,
Yeah.
DeepSeek could be used to optimize production,
Right.
predict when maintenance is needed, and even design totally new products.
Right. So much more efficiently.
It's amazing to think about how this could affect the whole economy.
It is.
But a lot of people worry about AI taking their jobs. What are your thoughts?
It's a valid concern,
Right.
but the article actually argues that DeepSeek's approach might actually create more jobs than it eliminates.
Oh, really? How so?
By making AI cheaper and easier to use,
Yeah.
DeepSeek lets individuals and smaller companies use these tools in ways that they never could before. This could create all sorts of new jobs, new industries, and a much more dynamic economy.
So AI is becoming a tool to empower people,
Yeah,
not replace them.
exactly. But we do need to prepare people for these changes.
Right. What can we do to make sure everyone benefit from this AI revolution?
Education and retraining is a must.
Okay.
We need to give people the skills they need to thrive in an AI-powered world. Things like data science, AI development, and just being comfortable with technology in general.
And we need to make sure that those policies support workers during this time of transition.
Absolutely.
So no one gets left behind.
We need to make a real effort to make sure the benefits of AI are shared by everyone.
That's a really important point. But going back to DeepSeek for a second,
Yeah.
there's another interesting angle here.
Okay.
The role of China in the global tech landscape.
Right.
The article seems to say that we may have underestimated China in this area.
I think you're right. For a long time,
Yeah.
everyone thought Silicon Valley was like the only place for tech innovation. DeepSeek proves that's changing.
It's like we're watching a new tech superpower emerge.
Yeah.
One that isn't afraid to shake things up.
What's really interesting is that they're doing it their own way,
Right.
focusing on things like efficiency,
Right.
practicality, and their ability to scale production really quickly.
It's a reminder that innovation can look different in different places.
Exactly. And I actually think this is a good thing for the world.
Okay.
A more balanced tech landscape where innovation comes from all sorts of places.
Right.
It's good for competition, for new ideas,
Yeah.
and ultimately it means more progress for everyone.
It's like the opposite of this tech Cold War
Yeah.
between the U.S. and China. DeepSeek shows that we can all work together, even in a field as competitive as AI.
Especially when you think about all the problems we're facing in the world. Climate change, pandemics, poverty.
Right.
These are issues that affect everyone, and we need the best minds from everywhere working together to solve them.
So this is bigger than just who can build the coolest AI.
Right.
It's about using technology to solve real-world problems and build a better future for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This deep dive into DeepSeek has been eye-opening.
I agree.
It's not just about this one company.
Right.
It's about how the world is changing, how technology is changing, and about how innovation can make a real difference.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on how it's all develops.
Absolutely.
But for now, let's talk about some of the key takeaways from this deep dive.
Okay.
What are some of the things we can learn from DeepSeek's success?
Yeah.
And how can we apply those lessons to our own lives? Okay, so we've talked a lot about DeepSeek, how they're shaking things up, their super efficient AI, what it all means for the world.
Totally.
What are the biggest takeaways for you?
One of the biggest ones for me is you got to challenge assumptions.
Okay.
For the longest time, everyone thought you needed like tons of money to play the AI game. DeepSeek totally flipped that on its head. It showed us you can innovate just by being clever and resourceful.
It's like that whole David and Goliath thing.
Yeah.
Is still alive and well.
Totally.
Even in the world of crazy tech like AI.
Right.
So for those of us who don't have like billions of dollars lying around, what can we learn from their approach?
I think it's about focusing on what you can actually control.
Okay.
They didn't try to spend more than the big guys.
Yeah.
They outsmarted them.
Interesting.
They picked areas where they could be super efficient and just use their strengths.
So it's about being strategic.
Exactly.
Figuring out where to put your resources.
Yeah.
Money, tech, even your time.
Totally. And don't be afraid to work with others.
Right. Collaborate.
Yeah, that open source thing they did shows just how powerful that can be.
It's like we can achieve way more together than we can on our own.
And another thing DeepSeek showed us
Yeah.
is to think differently about the future of AI.
Okay.
It's not just about building the biggest, craziest model.
Right.
It's about making AI something everyone can use.
Right, making it useful,
Yeah.
affordable, and something that benefits everyone.
Exactly. Using this tech to solve real problems and make a better future for all of us.
Absolutely. I'm feeling pretty optimistic after this deep dive.
Me too.
DeepSeek shows that innovation can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And that anyone can make a difference.
It's inspiring for sure.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us. We hope you learned something new.
Yeah.
And that you're excited to explore the world of AI.
Definitely.
Remember, the future of AI is what we make it. So let's get out there and build something amazing.